Urban renewal was something that was the government did around the country. And on the surface of it, it sounds like it was good, something to create business or create industry within the black community. But in fact, it did the opposite. It decimated our communities. So many blacks had to move out. Well, we had gained economies of scale, we had gained comradeship, we had gained community spirit. And in this town, Overtown was a very lively community, okay? From hotels to businesses to churches, civic leaders, all kinds of people lived in Overtown. But when I-95 came, it spread us out. So people moved to Alapata, Arcola Lakes, Carroll City, other places where Overtown was a living, breathing, dynamic area. Even though I grew up here or was born here, my family, when it came from South Carolina, we first moved to Coconut Grove. And our house was next to the Andersons, which was Thelma Anderson's house, who is now Thelma Gibson. So our families known each other ever since we moved here. And with the work that Father Gibson did with my grandfather, they did a whole lot for civil rights, economics in this community. And so I moved, went to Alapata Junior High, went to Miami Jackson High School, one of their rivals. I went off to college too, to Southern Methodist University in Dallas, Texas. I too became a captain of the basketball team. But my thoughts, even though we moved from Overtown, we were back here a lot because my granddaddy still pastored Mount Zion. And so for me, there's a rich history of Overtown. My grandmother taught at Booker T. Washington High School. And later on, it became a middle school. Now it's back to being a high school. But she retired from Miami Jackson High School as an English teacher. So I have so many fond memories of Overtown with some of the people. I remember I have pictures of my 2-year-old birthday party sitting on some ponies in the front yard, right across from we lived at the parsonage, and right across from the church. And every time I hit that expressway right there, I think about going right over my house. There were so many names back then growing up in the civil rights era. And we actually belonged to the same fraternity, the amazing Omega Psi Phi Fraternity Incorporated, okay? And I know he moved here, I believe, in 1935, and I think he was a graduate from FAMU. And our chapter in Miami started in 1939, okay? And in 1949, I have pictures of the Grand Bosses or the international president coming down to meet with the chapter here, which is Sigma Alpha chapter. And they were planning our grand conclave here in Miami for 1951. And so in 1951, our grand conclaves, which are now in the summertime, back then they were in the winter, because we didn't have access to some of the public accommodations. We had one really public place that we met in 1951, I think that was Deneke Auditorium, and the rest of the facilities we used were like local schools, local high schools. And so that's why those events were held during Christmas time when students were out of school so we could meet. Now they are being held during the, like this year,